Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good evening.
Uh,
Good
Yes,
good
ma'am.
afternoon,
evening.
Dhamma Sanji.
Good evening. Let me wait for 2 3 minutes more because many of them are still joining. So let them join. We'll start the session.
Okay, ma'am. No problem.
Uh,
All right. Mhm.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. So let's start today's session.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. So today, a very warm welcome for today's session. So today's session we are going to have on 21st century. How will you bring that 21st century skill into your classrooms? Do you have any idea? Anyone can answer, can unmute them, and you can just tell me that what is this about? Anyone?
Ma'am, can I go ahead?
Yes, yes, definitely, Fabian.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So, hi everyone. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you for that question. In my mind, it mostly means the use of tools, technology, materials that we currently have, including the ability to connect live with the internet, get live information, social media, wherever information is available,
Yes.
and every given opportunity where a case can be built to explain a point as far as language is concerned.
Yes, but thing is like that. We as a teacher have to be updated in every aspect.
Right.
Whether it is of a technology, whether if it is of any information, anything, we have to be updated in all the
Absolutely.
way, just to train
Correct.
our students. Thank you, Vivian. Anyone
Thank
else?
you, ma'am.
Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can see the screen.
Okay. So see, what is this saying? This 21st century skills to your classroom. Okay, see, the term 21st century skills refers to a broad set of knowledge, that is, skills, work habits, and character traits that are believed by the educators, schools, reformers, college professors, employees, and others to be critically important uh, to success in today's world, particularly in collegiate programs and contemporary careers and even in the workplaces. So, generally speaking, 21st century skills can be applied in all the academic subject areas and in all educational, career, and civic settings throughout the student's life. So, in the last 20 years, our world rapidly changed. Hope this is aware of everyone. So, the internet boomed, technology advanced, and our world and jobs adapted. So, these rapid changes led many schools to pivot to the teaching 21st century in the classroom. Now, what are the components of this 21st century skills? See, this 21st century skill is broken into three parts. One is the learning skill, second one is the literacy skill, and the third one is the life skill. Okay. Now, under this life skills, there are four C's. One is critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. Okay. Now, what are these? See, the four C's consist of the term collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. These four terms are considered to be the skills that the students of the 21st century need in their regular classrooms. So, if we as a teacher use all these four uh, skills into the classroom, it will work. We have heard this term that teamwork makes a dream work, right? So these team terms made that dream possible. Especially when an individual is working with a group and the whole team needs to keep these four terms in mind to have a successful outcome of a particular project. Now, what is this collaboration? Collaboration makes everything go smooth, in which every member works together and is pulling their own weight in the assignment given. Okay. Now, what is this communication? Communication is what pulls the group together. Without communicating to one another, the group would fall apart and the task would not be completed successfully. When the group is critically thinking, great things can be accomplished by the term thinking, that is the out of the box, or finding some different and a unique ways the task can be tackled. Okay. And creativity, that allows the groups to express themselves in any way they want. They can illustrate their thoughts, ideas through videos, images, or even the drawings also. Just tell me one thing. If you give your students in the classroom, if you give your students a topic that create your own country, do you think that your students will be able to work on this project, and how they will work with these 4 C's? Anyone? Yes, Sarita?
No, ma'am, I don't have any idea.
Say, suppose I'm giving you this task. Okay, I'm just giving you that create your own country. Right? So
Yes.
how will you start? It's about create your own country, not the country which are already there. So you have to create your own country. So how will you do it?
They start by their wish, what they want to try in this world, like their
Can you
wishes.
switch on your video?
Hello.
Yeah, can you switch on your video, please?
Actually, here power cut, so
Okay, no issues. Tell me. First thing, what will they do?
uh, first they find their wishes and the imagination, the how the world should be there.
First
From
of all,
that,
see, when you can see the 4 C's, right? First of all is the collaboration. What is this collaboration? It's a group work, right?
Yes.
It is a group work. So they have to divide it. So for creating a country, what they do need?
Ma'am.
One by one. Map,
Okay.
right? Then is your, then location, right? Where it should be. Then it should be the population, the language. So what they are doing, they are thinking out of their box. This is critical thinking, right? Communication. They are discussing. Voice is breaking. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
but someone just messaged me
Yes,
my
ma'am.
voice is breaking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So thing is like that. So communication. What are they doing? They are discussing among themselves and they are creating a communication, right? It can be verbal. It can be non-verbal also, right? Natural resources which support the human life. That is what I said, that it's an occupation. So what type of occupation for their livelihood? So these are the things they are thinking out of their box, not from their regular readings. They're thinking out of their box and they have to create it. So these are the 4 C's which can help. It is a creative, this critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communications. Okay. So if anyone asks that what are the 4 C's, these are the 4 C's. Now, what are the functions? of this communication. What communications do? That is an exchange of discussion, information they are gathering. From where? From technology. Even they are taking the advice, and then is your teamwork. So 21st century communication is a 4-level series that uses powerful ideas from the TED Talks to teach the learners to think critically and communicate effectively through authentic models of effective communications. Here, students build fluency in their listening and speaking skills, which needed to be achieve academic and personal success also. So, TED Talks are used to develop essential 21st century skills, including critical thinking, collaboration, and visual literacy. So, speaking, pronunciation, presentation skill, inspired by the TED speakers, prepare the learners to speak confidently in any situation. Extended listening based on real world situations and TED Talks provide listening and a note taking practice. So, what is this? Sometimes what we do when we want to know about anything, what we do, we take the topic and put it into the YouTube. And what we do, we try to listen and we want to take the running notes from there also. So online workbook include the entire audio and the video programs and automatically grade the language practice activities, ideal for both the hybrid and the blended courses. So today, communication styles are as diverse as the goals. So communication can be interpersonal, that is a two-way interaction with the someone else, means the way we are doing. Interpretative, that is a understanding and interpreting a one-way oral or a writing text. Or presentational, that is presenting information in either written or in oral format. Maximum now what we do for the school projects, we ask the students to do any type of project work or anything in a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, that is also a type of a non-verbal communication. So communications, both the verbal and the non-verbal, is at the core of everything we do. So articulating thoughts and ideas effectively using oral, written, and non-verbal communication skills in a variety of forms and contexts. Listening effectively to decipher meaning, including the knowledge, the values, the attitudes, and the intentions. These all help with the communication system. Even we find that in some of the classes, student does not speak, even they cannot communicate with each other. So in that case, teacher should go ahead and try to solve the problem of that particular child. In written communication, which is explicitly taught in English language, students learn to write to meet the various needs, such as to explain, to persuade, to synthesize in the forms of a research paper, emails, journals, science report, their own reflection of any theory or any topic, summary, and so on and the so forth. So communicating is the thing. It is to share your ideas and express express the feelings, which helps in improving the relationship also. Which it has been seen that in the success of this education system also, contributing to our discussions or the debates are seen as a big plus points. So brushing up one's communication skill is the need of the hour now. Clear till communication? Next is your critical thinking. Now, what is this critical thinking? Now, when I just said a few terms back that when I'm asking you to create your own country, so this something which is directly hitting you. What should I do? Right? Then is your thinking. Then is your solution. Now, how will you do this? So, critical thinking empowers the students to discover the truth in assertions, especially when it comes to separating the fact from the opinion. With critical thinking, students don't just learn a set of facts or figures, instead, they learn how to discover the facts and figures for themselves. They ask questions. That is their inner voice. That is what that is coming out through critical thinking.
Ma'am,
So,
it also says that the overthinking thing,
what?
cri- critical thinking is also called overthinking.
No, Sonu. Overthinking is something different, and critical thinking is something different. Critical thinking is the thing that person, when I'm giving you a topic, you think outside of the box.
Ma'am, like logical thinking, reasonable
Yes,
thinking.
logical thinking. See, when I'm asking you to create your own country, what is the
Yes.
first thing it is coming to your mind? That my own country, how can I create that? Right? If someone is asking me, Ashwya, where do you stay?
Yes, ma'am. In Allahabad.
In Allahabad, right? So suppose I don't know anything about Allahabad. I'm from outside. So you asked me to create something about Allahabad. So first thing is that what is that? Where is it? These type of questions comes to our mind,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So this is critical thinking. Now when I'm asking to create your own country, okay, so
We will
first
use
thing
our
is that,
logic.
yes, you have to use your own
Yes,
logic
ma'am.
and thinking
Okay, ma'am.
capability.
Yes, ma'am.
That is the thing, thinking capability.
Ma'am, I have one doubt, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
What is difference between critical thinking, logical thinking, rational thinking? The term.
Critically, you are thinking and you are solving a problem.
By logic, you are solving something, that is logical thinking. And if there is any reason for you
Yes.
behind the question, then this is a reasonable thinking.
See,
And critical. Huh.
logical thinking, it goes with the mainly with the mathematics and science
Yes,
related.
ma'am.
After
Critical
finding the
thinking.
solution.
Yes, critical thinking is like this: how much you can think about it.
Out
So,
of
matlab,
the box. Yes.
out of the box.
And
That is.
out of the box. I am giving you some points, but you have to think and you have to come forward to me with your voice,
Yes,
with your
ma'am.
inner voice.
Ma'am, different views we can come forward, and we can talk about different views, clues with we can.
Yes. What you are doing, you are jotting down the points.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You are having a collaboration. Right? Now, what is this collaboration? Means you are making a group. Some people, suppose you are a 4 in or 5 in a group, other there are 4
Teamwork.
in a group. So you, one group is thinking about the location, other group is thinking about the population, planning,
Yes,
what will
ma'am.
be the what will be our country flag and everything. That is the thing. So what we are thinking, we are thinking out of the box, which is not in our mind.
Yes, ma'am. Sometime
Hmm.
means
Yes,
if we focus on the particular topic, then only we can think about it. That is critical thinking.
obviously you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to see, we as a teacher, we are giving a particular topic to our
Yes,
students,
yes, ma'am.
right? Either suppose on country or on some famous foods, anything,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Suppose on Allahabad, what is the famous food over there? I don't know. You know. So you
Yes,
have that idea and you are coming with that solution.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is critical thinking. Clear, Sonu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, critical thinking is the ability to effectively analyze the information and a form of a judgment. To think critically, you must be aware of your own biases and assumptions when encountering the information and apply consistent. Critical thinking skills helps you to identify credible sources, evaluate and respond to arguments, assesses alternative viewpoints, test hypotheses against relevant criteria. Now, a point might come to your mind, but why this critical thinking is very important? Anyone can share why it is important?
Yes, ma'am.
If we are not thinking, so how can we find a solution of that?
Yes, Ashwin?
Yes, ma'am. Because, ma'am, it is a big question. If any children is whose IQ level is very very high, and some students are very low, some as medium, so we can relate them with others. They have a power or ability to think more and more about it. So
Because
we can
even,
yes, ma'am.
because even they are exchanging their points also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So they can gather the knowledge from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
But can
Pepe?
I add something?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so what I wanted to add was it's important because there are situations on a daily basis in a school or a teaching environment where something might happen on the spot which was not planned, right? And
Right.
which might require the teacher or the trainer, the facilitator, to be able to make spot decisions, without having to escalate it, what they can handle at their level. So, from that perspective, I think critical thinking is important to arrive at the correct conclusions. Because sometimes, see, what happens by the time the issue gets escalated, lots of things can happen that might go out of control. I'm just
Yes.
taking, a worst case scenario, right? So when something, if the fire can be prevented from spreading to the entire building, something that can be handled and contained within that class, critical thinking is important to be able to do that, to think on one's feet, as it were, and still, keep the larger picture in perspective.
No,
Thank
that
you, ma'am.
is sure, that is okay. But the thing is that, see, when we are exchanging our viewpoints, so we all know that classes of heterogeneous, some are enriched and some are
Right,
supported.
right.
So we can exchange our thoughts at least, right? Thank you, Freddy. Yes, Parthiv?
Hello, myself Purnima. What I feel is
Yes.
when a child is given a chance for to develop critical thinking, he himself will assess that how far I can do. So
Obviously, yes.
how much I can contribute to the class or the mass around me, and that knowledge will be solid also because it's coming
Yes,
from you.
and this is the thing that what the teacher can help the child
So it
by
is
encouraging
acquired.
the child, right?
It is acquired knowledge, and it will be stable than the learned one.
Yes.
That's what I
Ma'am,
feel.
can I?
Yes, yes, Jyoti.
Yeah. When we are taking the assessments for the students, so depending upon the critical thinking, also it will help the students to segregate even in the classroom. Also, depending upon the IQ levels, how they are thinking, in what levels they are.
See, that we can do, but generally, what as a teacher, it is segregation is not done in this way actually. In the classroom, see, you just think you are in a classroom, you can see it that this student, suppose I'm talking about myself, I have a very low IQ. So, can you just point out and say that sit down?
No, means what I mean to say is here we have some of the students even in our center. So
Hmm.
when we do the assessments also, so there also we are looking how they think. Are they thinking out of the box?
So when you know as a teacher, you know that how they are thinking, their thinking capability. So according to that, you have to give that much of the project to them.
Okay.
Okay?
Ma'am,
Yes.
uh, I want to add one thing. I
Hmm.
think this critical thinking it stimulates curiosity also. It
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
even polishes your creativity also.
Yes. It creates though. It creates creativity.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
And
I'm oh sorry.
Say
Ma'am,
Hello,
I'm
ma'am.
Safna.
yes.
Hello.
Yeah, Safa, say.
Yeah, I'm Safa. I'm actually a new student in this. I just joined like a month back, so everything is new to me. So I'm trying to learn everything, ma'am. And not only that, what I was about to say is that to take every student's critical thinking. That is what we are talking about today. So when we when we take every student in our class, when we take every student's idea and their critical thinking and their ideas, that's when the teacher will also learn. That's how it'll be easier for the teachers also to segregate in front of the class and share the ideas so that we can communicate to all the students around us, right?
I didn't get your thing. Just can you please tell me once more?
I was talking about the critical thinking when we see from the student side, from the student's aspect, from the children's aspect. So
Hmm.
when we shouldn't actually, according to me, we shouldn't focus on one student or one child's critical thinking. We should think about every child,
Everyone.
everyone,
Everyone. Yes, yes.
every single child. Because if we
Right.
talk about one child or two children, it might even affect the other children as well. Because some children's IQ might be as well as high, or it might be medium, low. We don't know.
Hmm.
So, according to me, when we talk about critical thinking about every children, and when we talk to them, and when we try to collect everyone's critical thinking, that'll be the easier way for the teacher to for them also to learn, and for
Yes.
them also to
yes,
understand the children and go forward with
Yes.
everything.
yes.
We must listen. Whoever see IQ level can be a student's high or low. That is, but we must take the opinion from each and every student.
Each and every student. It shouldn't be
Yes, we
one or
must.
two, because it might even affect the other student when we are focusing on one child's
No,
critical
we
thinking.
cannot focus. As a teacher, we cannot focus on one particular student's idea. We cannot
Yeah,
do that. When we are in the classroom, we have to take the idea. If you have a 30 students in the class, we have to take the idea of the 30 students only.
yes,
Ma'am, or we can give the
Uh,
right about the views, so we can check the critical
Yes,
thinking, है ना
yes,
ma'am?
we can
Yes,
we can ask
yes,
them
ma'am.
that
If
whatever
a
you are
student is
thinking,
30 or 40, so we can give
ha,
the task to write and then
to
give the
write,
reason.
to write, and you can submit it. They
Yes,
will
ma'am.
accept it.
It's
That
a
is
best idea, I think. That we
yes,
can check their IQ level and we can
ha,
work on long time. For long
long
time, we
time.
can. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yeah, that's a better thing.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
yes,
in my own point of view, man,
yes,
I crit- crit- critical thinking. I think it helps us in decision making, and it also refines our research skills. Now, bringing it to the classroom, it gives us possible ways of making our classroom and whatever topics we are to teach the students to be more fun and interesting to them, so that none of them will be left out.
yes. That's what we said. We should collect all the ideas. Okay. So while when you encounter this information, the questions comes to our mind: who, what, when, where, why, how. This type of questions comes to the child's mind. So there is no single way to think critically. How you can engage with the information will depend on the type of sources you are using and the information you need. Okay, so critical thinking also involves being aware of your own biases, not only those of others. When you're making an argument or draw your own conclusion, you can ask similar questions about your own mind when you are writing or when you are submitting anything. So, this some questions may arise to your mind that am I the only considering evidence that supports my preconceptions? Is my argument expressed clearly and backed up with credible sources? So these are the questions you may ask yourself as a student. Okay. So these are the things, these are the important things why critical thinking is important. Next is your Collaboration.
Collaboration. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is this collaboration?
Work in a group and work together.
Yes.
Teamwork,
Putting ideas of different minds to come to a conclusion.
teamwork like.
Collaborating with each other.
Yes. So, uh, so collaboration can be thought of as either a process or an outcome of a joint activity, with the former being typical more in line with how it has been used in the 21st century skills movement. So, while synthesizing the definitions across the research literatures, three fundamental aspects differentiate collaboration from other related activities, such as cooperation and coordination. So, several collaboration skills are consistently repeated across the research literature to operationalize these three fundamental aspects of for instructions and the assessment purposes. So these are includes knowledge, skills, and dispositions. To plan and make group decision, make a plan and make a group decision. So decide with the group how best to manage and complete the task or the project. So as a teacher, you can guide them in this way. That make small group, 4, 3, 2, like this. Make small group. Decide with the group. Don't take a lone project. I will do it everything. This should not be in any of the students. So what
Ma'am, so it will be easier
Ma'am,
for the
what do you mean
teacher
by
to
lone
also,
project?
do critical thinking as well, right?
lone means alone. Yes, pardon? Someone was saying something.
No, I was saying that it will be easier for us also as a teacher also when we are doing collaboration with creating groups. The critical thinking for the teacher and for the children as well, it will be easier, right?
Right. It
It will
will
be
be much
much more
more
easier.
easier.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
even now, even second point is communicate about thinking with the group. Communicate what you are thinking. If a group has 4 members, at least please communicate what you are thinking, how to go ahead. These are the some things that you need to communicate when you are in a group. Contribute the resources means when 4 of you are in a member, you contribute your resources, ideas, and the efforts and support the group members. Monitor, reflect, and adapt individual and a group process to benefit the group. Collaboration skills are both generic and context specific, in that the collaborative skills themselves do not typically vary across content areas. For example, see, students can contribute much more effectively in the collaborative task, offering resources, ideas, efforts when they have at least some content knowledge, which they can share with the teacher. Okay? Without such knowledge, students act more as an observers than as a true collaborators. You will sometimes find in a group that there are some sleeping not in the sense in that sleeping, in a sleeping mode. Once they will not
Not
do
active.
anything,
Not
not they are
active in the
not
class.
actively
They just.
participating in the group to
Mm.
take the project ahead. So they will
Mhm.
just listen. They will say, "Arey, do na, I'm there." But no, thing is like that. You have to encourage them that you have to bring some ideas also.
Yeah, yeah,
Physically
yeah.
they are engaged, involved, but mentally they are not
Mentally, they
there.
are not
They are
involved.
Yes,
not in the
ma'am.
class. They are
Yes.
actually
Yes,
absent.
ma'am. Sleeping type.
Sleeping time,
Yeah.
that is what we
Yeah.
say. Okay, so
Yeah.
without such knowledge, students act more as an observer, as if he is looking after everything but doing nothing. Okay, so collaboration is also intertwined with the cognitive interpersonal competences. Effective collaboration requires communication skills.
But ma'am, what about those students who are actually absent in the class, but they are only present? Their body is
that
only present
see
in the
that
class. What about
that
those
is
students?
the responsibility of the teacher to look after.
Teachers should
Okay.
encourage them,
Yes,
encourage and
you can
appreciate
see.
them.
See, suppose I have created four groups member. Okay, I'm getting
Okay.
ideas from three. So definitely, I'll ask the fourth one, what is your idea? So
Mm-hmm.
naturally, he or she will start. I was just listening to them. They are doing so. He or she will give number of excuses.
Mm-hmm.
So at that very moment, at that very time, I have to say, as a teacher, I need your idea. Your idea is
Mm.
much more important to me. I
So
have
that is
my
the
opinion.
teacher's
That
responsibility,
is what,
actually.
yes, I'm just encouraging that child.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Okay.
will become active. So from the next day onwards, again, I'll start. Suppose he's a X1, so I'll ask, show up your plan. What have you done? So this is the thing.
Like that today ma'am said ki we are discussing about 21st century in the classroom. So in the student or children or teacher, curiosity is developed na, so we are getting a chance to speak here. That is why today we are speaking. Otherwise others day the ma'am also taking classes or teaching something na, so we are talking and discussing today. So this is also like talking
Yes,
about
yes.
True,
collaboration
true,
and
true, true.
yes,
That's
Okay.
right.
and very
Yes.
interesting today. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Hello,
much.
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, few kids are very shy, ma'am. They are not that much open in front of everyone, ma'am.
Right. So in
So,
that case, what you can do in that case, see, whenever this few children they are shy, they can't open up in everyone. Even if you ask me, say something about this and this suddenly, so I might get shy. So in that case, you have to take care of that child. You can ask the child, write your points and give it to me.
Make her a best friend, as your best
Ah,
friend.
or
Firstly,
Okay,
you
ma'am.
can give her first if the child is
But
small. Firstly,
ma'am,
we can give
sometimes
a
it
hug.
happens.
Yes, ma'am. Then they can close to the teacher. If
yes.
yes, ma'am.
child is
Actually,
very small.
small kids,
You
no,
ask
ma'am, they can't
me.
write.
No,
So,
no, no need to write. Suppose, see, you can say, okay, you can share your plan to me. I'll not share it to anybody. So even
Yes,
whatever
ma'am.
the child is saying, just to encourage, you can say that loudly in front of the class and you can clap hand for that child. So that is what encouragement. You're
There's
just
trust
encouraging.
But
gaining.
that
Yes,
can
ma'am.
also be
yeah.
done alone, na, ma'am. If the child is shy in front of the class, when we're encouraging in front of the class, also there are some children who might be shy, that they are being encouraged in front of the class. But
Right.
according to me, what I feel is like we need to make them as our best friends first,
Yes.
and
First is
then
your,
we build
you
up
have
their
to gain the
confidence, and
trust.
then
You have
gain
to
that
gain
trust.
that trust.
Yes,
That is the
yeah, that's
main thing.
very
As a
important.
teacher, you have to gain that trust that the child must come to you.
Yes.
Sure.
And we need
Thank
to
you, ma'am.
actually make them as our best friend. We have to actually
Yes.
But
behave, not
teacher
behave, but
system is
be like them. Like a kid or
teacher
think.
support system is necessary.
Yes, Pratibha, what you have written here, teacher can develop a rapport, right? Exactly. That is what
Yes,
we said.
repo.
Yes.
Because teachers is like a mother. So
Yes. They
the
feel like
children
that.
can feel. Yes, children can
Yes.
feel
Yeah,
like
They
that's what I
mother.
feel like
actually
that.
meant.
Yes.
That's what I actually meant. My idea was like that
Yes.
because either we make them as our best friend or we keep them close. Those students.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
will be easier for the other students as well, right? So that they could collab
Right.
with the other students because that is a
Yes.
basic thing that the teacher
That is
should
the
do.
thing. Suppose when the child gains that trust on you, slowly, slowly, he or she will start mixing up with the other child also. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the thing. This is the responsibility of the teacher, the class teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first responsibility actually.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now next is your creativity. What is this creativity?
Ma'am, how to represent
To
creativity?
create
That is
something.
How
create
can you create
something.
everything?
Not create everything. It's about
Bring new
creating a
idea,
new
ma'am.
idea,
Yes.
Ma'am,
creating a
how we
new idea,
greatly create. How we
Yes.
greatly create. Yes, ma'am.
modularize it, polish it, make it something different from. every other thing.
Exactly, the skill what you have
Make it
within
stand up.
you, which leads to a new innovation. Yes, when I see your presentation, it should look like wow, this is nice.
Unique
Which is
things.
stand up amongst the crowd.
Present new ideas.
Yes. So
Yeah,
It will attract to
using
that idea, ma'am,
imagination.
right?
one by one, please.
Unique,
Okay,
ma'am.
using imagination or the original idea to invent a totally
Right,
different thing out of that given
right,
topic.
right. So creativity is the practice of thinking outside the box. Okay, so this,
Present in a different way.
yes, you have to present your idea in a different way. So this 21st century skill allows the students to embrace their inner strength from small thing to big one. They learn about their creativity and also learn how to express it in a healthy and in a productive way.
Yes, ma'am.
Creativity is the practice of thinking outside the box. It is equally important as a means of adaptation. This skill empowers the students to see new concepts in a different light, which leads to innovation. So, creativity is the ability to produce a new, diverse, and a unique ideas. Thinking creatively means looking at things from a different perspective and not to be restricted by the rules, customs, or norms. Clear. So, when you are presenting something, you are presenting something. So, it should be unique, it
Yes,
should
ma'am.
be different
We
from
can
the
use like bullet.
so many things are there.
Yes, ma'am. We can draw the
So
pictures.
many things are there. Instead
Yes.
of bullet, you can
Yes.
use some leaf
Pictures also.
pictures, leaf, or something like that.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
Making star.
according to the project, you have to do that. Clear? This is critical thinking. Sorry,
This all
creativity.
comes under critical thinking, right?
Mhm. Next is
Revolves
your
around.
next is your literacy skill. What is this? IMT. What is this I? This is for information. M is for media. T is for technology. So there are sometimes called IMT skills, and they are each concerned with a different element in digital comprehension. So the this I is for information literacy, which leads to understanding the facts, figures, statistics, and the data. Okay, media literacy. What is this? It is the methods and the outlets in which the information is published. And technology. This is the machines that make the information age possible. So at the beginning of the session only, Fabian said that we must be aware of everything. Okay, this is the literacy skill. So, information literacy is a foundational skill. It helps the students understand the facts, especially the data points that they will encounter online. Okay, and more importantly, this skills it teaches them how to separate fact from the fictions. Next is the implementation in classroom strategies for building the 4 C's among the students. How will you implement?
By building confidence.
And no, thing is like that, there are 4 C's.
Uh-huh.
You have to implement in the classroom. So
Okay.
how will you do that?
Firstly, ma'am, we will start doing a collaboration, group activity.
What
Start
type of? group activity.
Means separate we can make a group and we can give a task, you have to draw on this topic with, you have to use these tools in this points, you can use certain group, we can distribute different tasks.
Sangeeta said by telling story. Yes, Fabian
Yes, ma'am.
say.
I think, ma'am, this part of incorporating the forces should come in the lesson plan stage itself. How the teacher would plan the lesson for that class for the day should include the forces as part of the methodology itself, is
Huh.
what I think.
That
I
is
could be
okay.
wrong, but I'm just
No,
giving
that
thought.
is okay. Lesson plan is something. I'm coming to that part.
No, no. So I was saying how to build these forces is the most effective way is to build it into the lesson plan. So
Huh.
what I mean to say is to include it as part of the plan,
Right.
as an approach.
Huh. So, see, what we can do is that we have heard about these forces: critical thinking, creative thinking, communicating, collaborating. But
Yeah.
how are you supposed to teach your own subject and the forces?
Exactly, ma'am. So, for
That is what
instance,
I'm saying.
Ma'am,
yeah.
if
So,
something, if we are teaching something, we can make a TLM like, so we can teach them differently. Which if we are doing in class match the column, so we can make a chart paper. On chart paper, we can draw the pictures, we can relate them, so differently they will learn. So like this is critical thinking. They use their brain
See,
and
first we
creativity also.
first what we can do,
Yes,
what prompt critical and creative thinking,
yes, ma'am.
right? Suppose whatever your subject is, okay, you can show them some flashcards
Yes,
or
ma'am.
some pictures or audio video clips to them, huh? And you can try to, what you can do, you can try to elicit from them. So what you are doing, you are helping them to think something creativity, and you are trying to
Yes,
elicit from them what is the topic you are teaching to them.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, suppose you start a sentence, okay, and even you can ask them to complete the sentence in as many ways as possible. You can do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we can do that in that way. And what else we can do? Tell me, what else we can do? Suppose the definitions.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can ask the students to define a key term, okay,
Okay, ma'am.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
providing its denotations along with some examples, synonyms, antonyms.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, even you can ask them that some problem solving questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Ask the students to list ways that a problem could be solved. Suppose this is the problem you are facing now, right now in the classroom. How will you solve it? So, these are the things you will find that if you have 30 students in a class, you will find 15 students will answer and 15 will be in an observer part because they cannot
Yes, ma'am.
think. They are, yes, they cannot think. They will be in a one constant position. They will try to think when the others will answers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They find a
Exactly.
collective answer
This is
and
the
they,
way it happens in the
that's it.
classroom scenario. So what you will do, you will give them time for the rest 15 students that I'm giving you 5 more minutes. Think about it, and I need the answers from each of you individually. So as a teacher, you are forcing the child also to think.
Yeah, but that is also important, but we shouldn't actually force them. But, you know, tell them to say it in a good way so that they're not being forced,
No, no,
in a
force in
bad
that,
way.
not in that sense.
Force, not force. Do think about it. We can
Think
say
about
think.
Think
it.
about it.
Force
Yes.
is not in that
Hmm.
means you have to tell. No, no, not in
Hmm.
that way. Thing is
Mm.
that you
We can
are
appreciate, like, no,
appreciate.
no, you can think, you
Yes,
can think.
you
You,
can do,
yes,
and
yes,
I
yes.
need an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
So
Mm.
this is the
They
way
just
you
need to
have to
participate
communicate.
all the time.
Got my point? This is the way,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
that pressurization that yes, you have to tell me. No, no, not that.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now next is your modeling. What is this modeling?
Ma'am, pardon, modeling.
Modeling. What is this modeling?
Yes, ma'am. Role model, like means what
Visual
they.
representation, right? A
Yes, ma'am.
visual representation. Okay. So what you are doing? You are asking that particular student to play that role model so that what is about it the student must know, think, and must express the feelings. Or even you can give them some visual representation and you can ask them to draw in a drawing class. Suppose you are saying something, I'm narrating a story, you listen to me and you draw the scenario. And I'm 100% sure a class of 15 also they will do different types of drawing.
Yes, ma'am.
15
Different
people
ways
will
they
have
can
fifteen,
draw.
Different ways because
15
they
types
are
of drawings.
Yes,
listening and
ma'am.
they
They
are
are
seeing.
also keen observer, no, ma'am. They can
Yes.
think and relate because they are is
So they
very
are
small, but
creative.
they have a big
Uh,
solver brain.
so see,
They have
Yes,
lot
ma'am.
of creativity.
they are listening. Definitely, they are listening to the story and they are thinking in their own way,
They are
and
being very creative.
they are presenting it in their own way.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes, if they are interested in like drawing coral type, they can make like boxes also, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
I know.
yes, ma'am. They are more very creative, ma'am.
Yes.
If I give something, ma'am, they definitely solve it.
Aha. Even you can see, you can question. Suppose you give them 5 questions about a current topic,
Yes, ma'am.
and you ask them that from here, from which topic I should ask question. They will tell anyone, and most of the thing, if you put it like games type things, they will say yes, ma'am. From games, you ask questions. They are ready to answer. So these are the things that you can make the class more interactive and cooperative, also collaborative type also. Clear? Select a thought. How will you select a thought? Ask your students to share their ideas with a partner or a small group and work together to select one specific thought they find most interesting to pursue. Okay, you can make the classroom into 4 groups or 5 groups, and you ask them to role play on these are the topics you have to play. You have to role play over here or you have to represent in that way. So how do they do it? You can do that in way. Okay. Now, even you can ask your students to uh, make a drama. You give them a topic. You can ask them that you do this thing on the drama. You represent in this way yourself. As if in the Montessori school, what we have to do, we did with some of the students, what we do that day was about red color representation. So we asked everyone to wear a red dress. So every other children used to come with the red dress and they have to represent a small story, anything, whatever they like to do. You can do like that also with your students. Now, suppose now the presentation part. You are making some groups when you are giving them some topics, when they are giving them some presentation, at least reward them with anything. Group ideas, participation, whatever it is. Just reward them at the end.
Yes, ma'am.
That is very, very important.
Yes, ma'am.
Very, very important.
Yeah, this will
Otherwise,
encourage
they
the
will really
student.
feel bad because they will be feeling like, we are really working hard and we are not, getting anything from it.
Aha. So
So they
whatever
feel,
it is in the
mm,
inside the classroom, at least reward them. That is I don't know what the school will do, but as a teacher, you should
Mm.
personally reward them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is the most important thing. Now, next is your building an atmosphere that supports the development of the forces in the classroom. Now, see, creativity and this critical thinking represents the inseparable attitudes and abilities for innovations, which, contrary to popular belief, can be learned, taught, and implemented in the classroom, in any classroom. Okay, so communication and collaborations are the fundamental life skills that students can draw from their everyday experiences at the school and shape their ability to live and connect with the others and work well in the future. So the force is strengthens our learners' ability to find their place professionally, personally, and even socially in today's fast changing world while fostering other life enhancing C's, that is the curiosity, confidence, caring, and cooperation. These C's are also important to them.
Ma'am,
Okay.
curiosity, confident.
Curiosity,
Yes,
confidence,
ma'am.
caring,
Caring. Yes, ma'am.
and cooperation.
Thank you, ma'am.
These are the four C's, which helps to strengthen our learners. See, curiosity, we are creating them. Confidence, that also they will gain, and even we have to boost them up. Caring, it is a part of a teacher's life. You have to care, and you have to cooperate also from each and every aspect. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is
Ma'am,
integrity.
caring is anything that is love or care, na?
Obviously.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Anything.
ma'am. Talk softly also. It's a part of.
Yes, even
Yes,
when
ma'am.
you are gaining the trust from the child, that is
Yes,
also a
ma'am.
part of the caring.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, integrating the forces into your lesson plan. How will you do that?
Integrating forces into
Forces
your
into
lesson
your
plan.
lesson plan. How will you do that?
Okay.
Lesson
Okay,
plan.
ma'am.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I can say. Ma'am, can
Yes,
I
yes,
say?
yes.
If yes, ma'am. Firstly, ma'am, because I have prepared lesson plans, so I know about it. If
Okay.
firstly we can ask about some questions, means previously knowledge we can check about a question. Like example,
Exactly.
today, suppose that we are going to take table of four, or we are going to take table of four. So we can ask the question, what is this? मतलब ceiling fan की तरफ how many wings or chairs, or sorry, hands are there? So they can say three wings or three arms. So today we will learn table of four. एग्जाम्पल लेके चेयर का एग्जाम्पल लेके हम लोग स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. तो इंटरेस्टिंगली हम लोग क्यूरियोसिटी डेवलप कर सकते हैं बच्चे के अंदर ये
Exactly.
चीज़.
Huh.
And confidently also we can speak, caring with ask question, cooperation, together we can work.
Right. And
Yes, ma'am.
yes, Fabian.
So back to this, I think I mentioned this a little earlier. So now the question of how. So as part of the lesson plan, as a teacher or facilitator, I can decide which part of the lesson will work with which of the four C's. For instance, when I'm presenting a problem,
Hmm.
uh, creating the scenario for them to act on later, right? So one of the four C's, the collaboration, can be where I say, now you break into groups of four, or whatever number, four or five, and each of you has a role to play, so that nobody who is left out, first of all. And each of them, give them each a role to play in that, and say, you will come up with a solution, you will write down the solution, you will present the solution, and so on. So they will collaborate. So that's one part of the C taken care of. So the other part is, for instance, in the communication part comes in the when we encourage them to discuss among themselves how to arrive at solution, and who will present it on their from their group, who will be their representative. So in one way or the other, the four C's, like, if as a teacher, if I can strategize it like this and incorporate at some stage all the four C's part of the lesson plan, then that in my mind is a very effective lesson plan.
Right.
Thank you,
Anyone
ma'am. Thank
else?
you.
Anyone else wants to share? Okay. See, what we can do, what Fabian says, it's correct. So these four C's aims to provide the teacher with the knowledge, know-how, and confidence to incorporate these stimulating skills into their curriculum and the school environment. Okay. So first of all, the elements of an effective lesson plan, especially one that maximizes engagement, should cover the basic of the four C's. So first one is that key open-ended aim questions. That is a guide students to new information. Offer means to explore the connection and application of that new information and exemplify comprehension via multitude of student chosen activities. Let them think with a task to demonstrate thought immediately. That is what you are using your critical thinking. Review and introduction of a new information to your students can come in a brief mini lesson. Students are given to the majority of the class time to inquire on their own in a number of ways. The purpose is to experience and practice why the information should be learned and how to apply it in the real world or in the practical lesson in the classroom. Now, at the end, students demonstrate that they can answer the M, that is open-ended question, by actually doing so in a way that they say fit and is acceptable to you as a teacher. These are the four main things that you need to put into your daily lesson plan. Next is the variety of roles. Let's see how we can adopt these into a real classroom activity and task. See, when the teacher is a team game, how the teacher should behave. Teacher should be energetic, clear, fair judgment, and encouraging. When the teacher is a role play, teacher must be supportive, retiring, clear, encouraging. When the teacher is reading aloud, must be dramatic, interesting, and commanding. Why dramatic? Because if you change your voice tone according to the story, it becomes much more interesting. Okay, and the whole class listening, that is the efficient, clear, and supportive.
Retiring means, ma'am, where supportive retiring means, ma'am, here.
Yes, tell me, what is retiring? Anyone?
It's to willingness to take the back seat and allow the class to develop on its own.
Yes. So see, here the teacher role is like controller. Okay? When the teacher is in a controller position, so the teacher is in a complete charge of the class.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So what she is telling or he is telling, the student will only listen. The class will not become so much interesting. After some point of time, students will get bored. When the teacher acts as a prompter, the teacher encourages the students to participate, make suggestions about how the students may proceed in an activity. So the teacher should be helping students only when necessary. When learners are literally lost for words, the prompter can encourage by discreetly nudging students. Students can sometimes lose the thread or become unsure how to proceed. Here, then the teacher in this regard can prompt, but always in a supportive way. Okay. Teacher here is as a resource also. is a kind of walking resource center, ready to offer help if needed. When the students are working in a collaboration, in a group, they are bringing their ideas. So, as a teacher, you can say, Acha, you can do, these ideas are good, no doubt. But if you add this point, so they will be also be encouraged. Okay, teacher as a participant. So this role also involves the atmosphere in the class when the teacher takes part in an activity. Likewise, I just said before, when you are reading a story or narrating a story, be a little dramatized. Change of tone or acting with that story to some extent, it will also provide a good environment, a positive environment in the classroom. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Last, the thing is that life skills, that is the flips, that is the flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills.
Ma'am, you leave 14 number slide.
What?
Ma'am, you leave 14 number slide.
Everything, the
14 page.
controller, prompter, I just told now. Now the four skills are the flips, that is the flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. What is this flexibility? Flexibility means you should set a goal, seek the answers, navigate the information, collaborate with others, create something, evaluate their work. So, given the rapid rate of change in our world, the ability to adjust and adapt is critical to success. So, students need to learn quickly, analyze what is going on and around them, and make adjustments on the fly, all the while keeping their goals at the forefront of their minds. Flexibility is not spinelessness. In fact, a spine needs to be flexible to allow the person to move while remaining upright with eyes on the prize. So the thing is like that, you must give them some flexibilities that set a goal. Means you have to complete this project within this space. Seek the answers from them. You can navigate the information. You can collaborate with others. So these are the flexibility you are giving to them. Next is the leadership. So what is this leadership? Leadership is a suite of related skills that combines the other life skills. So good leaders take initiative, have strong social skills, and are flexible and are productive. Next is your initiative. What is this initiativeness? Initiativeness is the entrepreneurial spirit is founded on initiative, the willingness to step forward with an idea and take the risk of bringing it to fruition. The changing economic landscape requires entrepreneurs. Students need to learn how to set goals for themselves, plan how they will reach to their goal. Means you and enact their plans. Means you can set the topic, and you can say that within 7 days you have to give this information to me. So you can set them some goals to them. By teaching the students the inquiry process, you equip them to take the initiativeness. When you step back and you ask them, the students, to step forward, what are the things it comes? That is the questions, plan, research, how to create, how to improve, and how it should be presented. So these are the questions it comes to the mind. When you are helping them, you are leading them, but at a certain point, you just step back. And
Initially, teacher will start, ma'am.
yes, yes.
First,
That
yes.
is what I'm
Okay.
saying. As a teacher,
Yes.
you are leading them, but
Yes,
at a
ma'am.
certain point, you just step back to help the students to step forward so that these things comes to their mind.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Next is your productivity. Now, what is this productivity? Productivity is the thing that during the recent recession, the productivity of the American worker reached an all-time high. How? Tell me how.
Ma'am, this concept is not clear right now.
No, what is productivity? Tell me what is productivity.
Product
Ma'am,
availability, something that is available.
no.
No, no, no,
It's
no,
more
no, no.
to do with
Ma'am,
getting
it's
more
related
things
to
done.
The outcome is more than
outcome
the
of that
One
student.
by one, please, please, one by
okay. The
one.
outcome is more than the what is actually.
Acha, okay. Yes, Fabian?
It's the ability to get more done within a time frame or within a constraint.
Yes. When you are setting a goal, right, to the students that suppose today is 26th and I want your work to be done by 31st. So you have 4 days, 5 days in your hand. So you are aimed at your productivity. Yes. Sujana said we can say effective result also. That is also a productivity.
Even this class itself, ma'am. I
Yes,
mean, look at
obviously.
this session. There's so many things that we picked up. It was not just one thing. So
Yes,
it by itself definition, it's a productive class.
yes, that is the thing.
Yes, ma'am,
We
I
are,
can said. Ma'am, at the end of the result, what outcome will find, na? That
exactly,
is
that is
okay.
the thing,
Thank
is
you.
the productivity.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
And what is the social skills?
How you interact with other people, ma'am. Basic.
Not
It's a.
only interaction.
I'm saying
Bonding,
the relationship
caring.
building and the trust that goes along, because a classroom relationship with others is a whole 1 year process, at least minimum 1 year. I mean, assuming that you change classes and go to a different group the following year. This is social skill would be how you bond with the environment, the people in your
Yes, ma'am.
environment.
Small things we can teach them. We should help them. We shall share something in lunch time also, and we can share
Sharing,
some.
sharing is
Yes,
okay, but
okay,
everything, social skills are the things that everything we are gathering.
okay, ma'am.
We are gathering from everywhere, right? That is the social skills. So here we end.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you please clear more about social skill? Ma'am, I can't relate it because, ma'am, in my mind there is something different.
Okay. So see, human beings have always been a social creature, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
connecting to and depending on the tribe of some hundred others. So here, technology now allows people to belong to multiple tribes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So through technology, we are coming to know about the people, about the culture, about the
Yes, ma'am.
everything, about everything, how they are living their life, their language, their occupations, and everything.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
So when students are having face-to-face meetings,
Yes, ma'am.
so what they are sharing, their thoughts, their feelings, the needs, everything.
Yes, ma'am.
So as we are working with the environment, we are becoming more collaborative, and the
Okay.
social skills are the key to the success.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, like that, suppose that we have data about the students, so that is main thing.
Hmm. No, no. See, when we are giving a topic, right? So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have one point, you are saying one point,
Yes,
Ethan
ma'am.
said something. So what
Yes.
you are doing? We are here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We are over here and we are discussing different things. We are
Yes,
gaining
ma'am.
some knowledge,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So we are what we are doing. We are sharing our feelings, our thoughts, our needs,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
everything. So this is the social skills.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
If you have any doubt, any question, please mail me. I'll definitely give you an answer.
No, ma'am. Thank you. It's a
Thank